We are live with Steve Sarich from Thailand. Oh my goodness! Welcome everyone to USA Hemp Revival. I am here with the longest standing activist that I've met to date. He's going 61 years strong, or 59, somewhere between 59 and 61 years. He has been an activist for this full plant cannabis. We were going to give you an update on Thailand, but we're going to wait maybe till Friday or Saturday on that because there are some things going on. And tomorrow, my day is shot because I am testifying at at Augusta University. They're having a meeting on the hemp and cannabis policies, and you all should come. We need your energy if you can be there. Um, yeah, I can send you details about that if you need. I'll probably post them in the comments. Why not? And I am going to hand it over to you, Steve, to share a little bit about who you are, if you would like.
Well, we were just talking about my history before we went on the air, and yeah, I've been raided by more drug task forces than anyone in the history of Washington State. But I had when I was because I've been doing this so long, I had a lot of friends, and some of them were just growing and selling pot for years, and they were making a lot of money. And I saw when they got busted, they had a lot of money and they could afford to pay for good attorneys. Well, then I learned what the attorneys do is they just keep postponing your case and postponing your case and keep charging you money until you just have no more money to give them anymore. And then they recommend that you take a plea deal, which you could have taken without giving them any money. You could have done that yourself. You're just going to plead guilty. And instead you pay them all the money. And I had friends like Eddie Lepp and others who went to federal prison. And many of them were telling me that they were spending their time in the prison library trying to learn the law so they can fight appeals to get out, to work on write appeals to get out. And I decided, well, I think I want to study about the law before I go to prison and have to study in the prison library. And that's what I did. I just learned the law. In college, I was studying law, so it wasn't a big deal, but I'd planned not to be an attorney because it's just the most boring thing in the world. So
I did that too. Like I went to school for teaching children, but I chose not to be a teacher in this industrial system. I teach in my own way, but I get it. I was pre-med. Like it's good to study things, even though you're not that career. It's good to know things.
Well, if college had been more challenging to me, and if I wasn't making more money while I was in college than I was going to make doing what I was studying, that's why I finally left. I was losing money staying in college, and I was bored sick because the level of the teaching is to the lowest common denominator. So there were classes I never went to in college and got A's in. It's like, how you do that, right? Unless it's awfully easy. So I don't know. I there was just no point in staying in college. And anyway, so we were talking about getting raided. So I learned everything I needed to know about what not to do when the cops show up. Okay. So in 2006, they raided me and they had federal, state, and county drug task forces there that came from 3 counties outside of where I was. Called the local the county where I was in, called that drug task force and told them to stay home that day, and did the same thing with the police, which is really, really, really odd. They raided me with a bad warrant, and I will tell you, this is why you never talk to the cops, because every warrant they've ever used to raid me was no good.
Wow.
because they know, because they can get a judge that will just they'd write anything for them.
So let's backtrack. That's insane, first of all. When we were talking before the live stream, you said this is what you always do as soon as you get raided. You say nothing, and what do you say?
I inform them right from the very beginning that I won't be saying anything to them, and if they have a problem, here's and I have it ready there by the door. Here's the phone number of my attorney, and you can speak to him. So and really in 2006 when they came in, the guy leading the drug task force knew exactly who I was, and he told everyone after they came through the door, don't bother questioning him. He's not going to talk to you. I got a kick out of that. I was in the shower when they raided me, actually.
Wow.
When they raided, when they raided me in a county, all I was growing was clones. We grew 125 different strains of clones at all times that we had there for patients. So we had a lot of plants. They said 1,550. I think that probably had to be more than that, but we never flowered anything. We never sold meds. All we did was we created a wide variety of strains that people wouldn't be getting anywhere else for patients. But they thought they had a big deal. Anyway, when they came in, I also, the only other thing I said to them, I said that big plate, a big tray of chocolate chip cookies, I said, do not eat them. Those are for patients. Okay, so don't touch those. And they were in my house for 9.5 hours. They used my money to buy a bunch of pizzas, and they bought 16 2-liter bottles of soda. They were stoned out of their minds. They ate the whole tray and then packed up, took the handcuffs off, and left.
So you just got the high by saying nothing, and they left.
Yeah. Yeah, they destroyed my house. I mean, they took all the pots. They cut down all the plants, and they took the dirt and they dumped it inside of my stove and my sink and everywhere. But they didn't have anything to arrest me on.
So you were cloning plants at the time for Washington agriculture program.
Well, I was cloning for patients. This was before there was.
Okay, the caregiver program.
Yeah. Well, and this was before there was a cannabis program. I just did it forever because, and I taught people how to grow it because patients don't know how to grow, and some of them are never going to learn how to grow. It's kind of a talent, and it's something that you have to like doing it. And if you're very sick, sometimes that doesn't sound like a very good idea. So,
right.
But yeah, I've been raided by a lot of them, but you never say anything because the warrants are almost always bad because all they're looking to do is get into your house, and then they're going to find what they need. Right. So just say nothing to them. What it turns out as when they can't bust you is they destroy your house. They turn everything over. They confiscate all kinds of things that you have to get back again, and make your life miserable. They finally quit doing that in 2015. They finally left me alone. But in fact, they stopped even pulling me over. They used to like to do that because I refused to put license tabs on my car, and I didn't have a Washington State driver's license because I wasn't legally obligated to. And that just really pissed them off.
Wow. So, okay, just to backtrack, we only have like 1 minute.
Yeah.
We'll do 5 more minutes. Just to backtrack, the reason why we got into all this is because I asked Steve, well, he told me how long he had been advocating. I didn't know it was almost 60 years. That's incredible. That's more than anyone I've known. I said, is that more than Jack Herr? And he said, yeah. And I said, have you ever spent a night in jail? And he said, no, but I've been arrested. No, I've never even been arrested, but I've been raided. And that's when we started talking about them.
Right. They loved raiding me because every time they stole stuff, whether they stole money or they stole. When I got in 2010, I think it was January 2010, my house was broken into by home intruders. There were 5 of them. One had a 12 gauge shotgun, and I was shot in the face and the arm, and I shot one of them.
That's so
Um,
dramatic.
But there were 5 of them. They came to kill me. I know they came to kill me because they shot me before they talked to me.
God. Okay, sorry guys. I should just put a trigger warning on this episode. Holy cow! I'm so sorry that happened.
And then 5.5 hours into the investigation, because that guy was in the backyard on the ground. He lived, but he was too shot up to go to prison. They caught all of the rest of them. They had been up doing coke starting at 2 a.m. in the morning, and then they just decided to take a stolen shotgun that one of them had and come and shoot me and take what I had.
And you
so 5.5 hours into it, the investigator came up and he thanked me. He said, normally in cases like this, people lie about little things. And I said, everything you told me about how this shooting took place, because it was a gunfight in my home, everything you told me turned out to be perfectly correct. And you only missed the guy the first time by like a quarter of an inch. So, but he said, if you look out in the driveway out there, see the guys with long hair sitting on the car, that's the King County Drug Task Force. And they are out trying to get a warrant to search the house. I said, you've been searching my house for the last 5.5 hours. He said, I know. He said, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to take however many suitcases you like, and you're going to put anything you want inside of those suitcases. And I am going to escort you off of the property. Okay. You're going to be gone for a day because you can't stay in the house when they're searching it. And later on in the day, it's like not long after that, he got in a fist fight with the drug cops because he was so pissed off.
Oh my God.
So they came in and just destroyed my house after I'd been shot in the face and gone to the hospital and all of that. Yeah, it's been a fun ride. Do you think I'm happy to be in Thailand now where nobody's shooting anybody or even getting in a fist fight?
Oh my God, you've been through it, dude. So, wow. Thank you for sharing that, feeling safe to share that. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, and so, okay, so thank God you had a gun, because there's constitutional carry issues now if you have cannabis.
Well, I had 2 guns, and the reason being, we'd gotten broken into about 3 months before then, and so my first thought, it's the same guys, right? Because they came up from downstairs. Or a split level house, and they came up from downstairs. They came in through the forest. And I told my girlfriend at that point, I said, you're going to have to learn how to use a gun, whether you like it or not, because if they were to come in here and they kill me, they have to kill you. They have no choice. And so she did. She took me seriously, and she knew. So my gun jammed. The gun jammed. And that shot me.
We lost a connection. I lost you.
Okay.
The screen jammed when you talked about the gun being jammed. Okay, you're back.
Anyway, she knew exactly what to do. She was already on the phone with 911 because that was what she was trained to do. We actually did drills with this. And when I came running back into the bedroom, I knew she had a gun, and I knew she had it loaded, and I knew the safety was up, and I knew she was going to hand it to me butt first, because that's exactly what I told her to do. I turned around, and there's a 6'4" guy, 1.5 feet outside my door, and I can see him through the glass panes in the windows. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. And the response from Seattle Hemp Fest people was, you shot that poor guy. that was how they pictured it.
Because they're corrupt. Because you think.
Well, yeah, because they were supporting getting rid of medical cannabis. They really didn't like me very much.
Everyone's so confused about what medical cannabis is. Like people think it's big pharma.
Well, but they weren't confused. Half of their volunteers were medical cannabis patients, and when they came out against, well, they said they weren't trying to get rid of medical cannabis, but when they were supporting I-502, which I said was going to get rid of medical cannabis, and in fact did 2 years later, um, they got some of the first licenses, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of sellouts that I've known in the last 60 years.
Steve, what is the solution? What should I say to the legislators?
The only thing they can do is legalize it and write good rules for all of these different things. But it's really got to be done by the federal government, because what I've learned in working in the Washington state legislature, and it's the same everywhere, it's all about the lobbyists, and big pharma is always going to be the biggest lobbyist. All right. We have to take every argument away from them. Every single argument. They can no longer use 0.3% THC as some level of intoxication. Where's the study that shows that? So what is 0.3% THC?
It's from the Canadians.
Well, you know what it's called in the court of law? It's called arbitrary and capricious. They just made it up. And now the FDA is trying to pass a rule making it 0.0002% THC. That's 2 parts per million. That's 1/3000th of the 0.3%. And which means that even all hemp can't be used as food.
Steve, I don't
understand illegal.
Why they can't just focus on end use and end THC.
Yes.
Why do you have to do it when the plant grows? I don't understand that.
No. And they don't do it with any other plant. They don't. That absolutely has to go away, and we have to show them that is never going to work. But when you write laws, when most states, whatever entity it is, writes a law, they look at all the other laws out there and they take the most onerous sections of those laws and they put them together to have really a safe law, and they don't know what they're doing. They have no idea, or they're doing it on purpose. But you can't have recreational marijuana and have it overtaxed, overregulated, and overpriced, because then you need to know that that's how you create a black market. So all we've got in the U.S. really is a huge black market. Even the guys who are supposedly doing it legal are selling it out the back door because they had to, because they couldn't afford to pay the state of Washington 45% and still stay in business.
Wow. Okay.
So I've seen Washington State recreational cannabis in Thailand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the Department of Public Health is in every state, right? But is that federally, does that trickle down? Like, do the feds control all the state departments of health, or how does that?
No. That's pretty much, one of them should be controlled, but the closest one to being controlled is probably Department of Agriculture. And the Department of Agriculture, and you
is controlled by the feds?
The Department of Agriculture has a lot of control over the state departments of agriculture.
Oh, over the state public health.
Over the state agriculture.
Well, what about the Department of Public Health?
That's Department of Health, yes. And they all have their own departments of health, and they have all of their own rules. But what you can't do, because it's so easy to buy off state representatives. Let me give you a comparison. If you wanted to buy off a congressman, when I say buy off a congressman, donate X amount of money. In other words, if you donate maybe $250,000, you're going to get a meeting with him, and he may work on a bill for you. Okay. In the States, you can buy somebody off for $1,000. Okay. So it's too easy for big pharma to buy off each and every one of these states if we don't put it at the federal level. Do you know what I'm saying? You're
I'm not.
seeing that going on in your state, and you're seeing it going on in Alabama right now. So they're outlawing hemp in a bunch of states,
I know.
and hemp is okay.
It's
You
this.
got you can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have 51 different people making hemp laws. And
Okay,
that's what you have. You have the federal government, and then you have 50 states.
that's why I asked about the Department of Public Health, because they're the ones. They just like, it's so weird. They're talking about THCA flower with hemp. It's like THCA is in all flower, not just hemp. It's first THCA, then you decarboxylate it and it becomes THC. And it's the Department of Health doing it in all the, just in June, they banned hemp products in California, a legal state. So it's obviously not about it being intoxicating, because they're already okay with that.
They can't prove intoxication. Not only can they not prove intoxication, they don't want to have to define intoxication, because then what they're doing won't match up with intoxication. Do you understand? They really want. In other words, you know that 0.3% is arbitrary and capricious, right? It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. It is not. It was never meant as a level of intoxication.
Do you think they're scared of gasoline and they just want to get rid of hemp because
No, no. There is nothing as far as the people who want to get rid of us. What they can't have you having good food. They've gone out of their way to make sure you don't eat good food, or that the vegetables that look just like the vegetables when you were 5 years old don't have that nutrition in them anymore. This is two groups. This is big farm.
oh, you're cutting out again.
And a lot of them have both. I don't know how to fix that. Um, Bayer and Monsanto, that's ag and pharmaceutical together. Understand? So those are the two groups that we really have to worry about.
Okay, so here I am in Georgia. Maybe I'll just sing a song tomorrow. They can't. They banned ukuleles from the Capitol, like
Oh my God, those are dangerous weapons.
right after I sang a song. I don't know if it was synchronicity or very strange. Like, so yeah, I stopped bringing my ukulele, but this is in a college. I don't think they could ban my ukulele from there.
What are they talking about?
So in Georgia, they created a study committee on all of their hemp and medical laws that they've done, the policies that they've done so far, which are very similar to the other states, and they're acting like it's just Georgia. But there's a lot of people who come to testify, and if you look at my YouTube channel, that we're now on my hemp channel. We talked on my music channel before, but I figured out how to go live here now. I needed a certain amount of subscribers and whatnot. And so I have like the testimony from the first meeting, all like, I have like one a day, like 30 or 40 videos of shorts from the testimony. So you can see, we've been testifying over the years, and they're just not listening to us. And I've even met with a few legislators privately, and I'm like, do you remember when I said this during the testimony? And I sent them the video, and they're like, I don't even remember you saying that. I'm like, that's why I make the videos, like it's really to educate you guys, but you don't pay attention. I don't know why you don't pay attention. I mean, I know that you have.
Because they already know how they're voting.
Some of them
They're just going through the steps for you.
I mean, what's interesting, okay, the video that I'm about to release tomorrow, I didn't hear what the legislators said. I don't hear what they always say. I don't hear what people testify all the time either, because we have voices in our head, like, I'm nervous about testifying, so I don't always hear what other people say. That's why the videos are such a great tool. So I edited the video thinking it would be about one thing, because I literally thought the chairman told us he would put us like in the committee, because like supposedly it was open to put two like citizens in the committee, But when I listened back, it sounded like the committee already existed.
Of course it did.
Because he was like, we already have a committee. He was like, we have a committee and we'd love to notify you of the meetings. I was like, wait, we were,
Who are the people on the committee? Have you got a list of them and what they do, what their jobs are?
oh yeah. Well, first of all, they're all legislators. They're all Republican except one Democrat. And then
What's their background in cannabis or hemp or medicine or any of that?
now one of them is pro cannabis. David Clark actually had a bill to legalize cannabis several years ago, but it never went through, just for the people to be able to vote for it. I think it was. And then there's like a couple who are like on the fence, but then there's others who have been anti-cannabis and controlling things, and who were a part of raising the hemp processing fee, which puts so many hemp farmers and processors out of business. One of them even killed themselves. It's tragic, tragic, tragic.
And it's only one of the things they use to get rid of farmers in the hemp industry. That's just one of the things. The other thing was burning legal crops.
So basically, there are two citizens on the committee. Wesley Dunn, but he's a lobbyist, and I don't know if I know he lobbies for industrial hemp, like he's really trying to help the industrial program, but I don't know if he also lobbies with medical cannabis people. The other one is the CEO of Botanical Sciences, one of the very few local companies that are in Georgia, are allowed it. So I guess they wanted his opinion because he is having, it like you said with the recreational cannabis companies, like losing millions. Like, I mean, the medical cannabis companies are just hanging on by a thread.
And we should do a show just on that sometime, because I've been collecting data on that. Canopy growth, for instance, went from almost $600 a share, and they're now at $1.90.
Wow! But here's an interesting thing: what Botanical Sciences did, and I found out because I went to a trade show, and I was like, seeing all these different hemp products, and I'm very, very picky. I don't do refined sugars. I don't do, especially corn syrup or dyes. Like, that's not on my diet regularly. Why would I make that?
Yeah. Me either.
So, unfortunately, there was some preservatives in this company 159, and like it was a very nice sales guy. He was like, "Oh yeah, we're calling it 159 because of the 159 counties in Georgia. We want one in every county." I was like, "Oh, that sounds like very ambitious." And he's like, "Well, we're the hemp side of Botanical Sciences." So that's when I found out that Botanical Sciences isn't only a cannabis company; they actually have a hemp business here too now. But strangely,
Canopy also owns a company called Canopy Hemp, and it is run by what's his name, Jeff Whaling, who also happens to be the president and founder of the National Hemp Association. He works for Canopy Growth, the marijuana company. How does that work?
I don't know. NHA, is that the one that Nelson is involved with?
Who?
Or was at one point Lucas Nelson, or not Lucas? One of the Willie Nelson's children was. I met them at
Oh, I don't know. I pay so little attention to recreational marijuana because it's an industry that's never going to work. Okay, because it's always going to come down to the lowest common denominator. Customers only want two things. They want the highest THC possible, which is stupid, of course, and they want the lowest price. And you can talk about making this wonderful pure cannabis that is just wonderful and has got a beautiful nose and tastes wonderful, but basically the guy on the street just wants the cheapest THC. Okay, so you're never going to have a premium cannabis market. It's always going to be what's the cheapest price. Right now, I have to buy a kilo of a very good flower because I have to make myself some RSO. And so I'm shopping around and I'm able to get it at about well, under 50 cents a gram for really, really good flour.
And you can't grow it yourself?
I can't grow it for 50 cents a gram. I really couldn't. That's pretty, I mean, that's hard to do, right? And I would have to grow a lot of it.
Your
So
Did you lose your desire to grow because you've been through so much, or?
no, I remember I told you I've never been arrested. I live in a foreign country. And remember I've told you that there is no law. If as long as there is no law, I'm not participating. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So I have a doctor's medical authorization for having medical cannabis.
okay.
And now they're trying to change all of that thing too.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
another,
I saw the video you sent, the 5 conditions. That's so weird. Cancer's not even on there.
but it's not the law. It is another rule that they made up. You can't do that. So now they've got the first rules for cannabis, the revised rules for cannabis, and now you've got the revised rules for medical, and you don't have a law for any one of those things.
Okay, so just to recap for people that don't know, and then I really need to get going.
Sure.
So basically, this whole talk about Thailand legalizing cannabis, Steve was the first person that told me that's not really true. They just descheduled it.
Well, what they know, they made it legal by making sure that there was nothing causing it to be illegal. So it's legal, but there is no law telling you if you want to go into the business. Do you need a license? Does that cost something? What are the rules? Any of that? No, they just wrote rules and they didn't pass the law part, which means it's worthless in court for the government. So what's going to happen is some very, very wealthy Thai people who've lost millions already on this industry because the government screwed it up and didn't pass a bill. They're going to sue the government and they're going to win because there's no law. So what can we have nothing to enforce. So if they shut down your store or they shut down your grow or whatever, it's based on what law exactly? They're going to win is the answer. Without a law, it's just like the U.S. If you don't have a law passed by Congress here, if you don't have a law passed by the Parliament, it doesn't. You can't enforce rules. You can only enforce laws. And right now we have no law. We have no cannabis law here at all.
So that's just scary. Like, you don't want to take a chance.
Well, on the other hand, it's completely legal. So if they do decide to screw with you, ultimately you're going to win. Except if you're old and living on a retirement visa here, they will deport you, and they can do that. and I love it here, so I don't want to leave. So
Yeah.
I have to watch my mouth here.
But you could come to Atlanta if you need to.
That is probably my least favorite place.
Why don't you like Atlanta?
Oh, we'll talk about this off screen sometime. I've never had good luck in Atlanta. Atlanta is the one place I used to go there for trade shows, and it was just an awful place, and the weather was awful.
For cannabis or something else?
For other things, not for cannabis.
The weather was bad, you said?
Yeah, it's just sweaty, hot, awful.
See, I love the heat. I moved here from New York.
Well, I love the heat. I don't like the heat with the humidity. I lived in Houston. It was 100 degrees and 100% humidity. And you'd get out of your car and you'd run for the air conditioning, and you'd still have your shirt wet by the time you got there.
Well, Frank, hi. Thanks for logging on. I do need to get going though and get ready. Let me know if you have any questions, Frank. Atlanta is a mess, he says. I agree.
Yeah.
Frank, are you joining us in Augusta tomorrow? I can't believe I'm traveling 2.5 hours each direction to maybe not even have a chance to speak. But I just, I want to film it all for my channel, and I want to have.
Sometimes they really say stupid shit, and you want to get it on tape.
Well, sometimes they say good stuff too.
Don't hold your breath.
My biggest pet peeve, Steve. Ooh, that rhymes. See, let me
Congratulations.
talk about my biggest pet peeve.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I get the cuteness of it, but like they all talk about Robert Chairman Dickey's peach ice cream, and they like he passed it out at a meeting, and so I was like, you guys, I've got these hemp seeds. If you put that on the ice cream that you're eating right now, it'll lower your glycemic index, and you won't get foggy brain and dizzy from all the sugar. And they don't understand, like, that's my pet peeve, is they don't understand how bad sugar is for you. And, they're like, I want more of your ice cream. Ha ha ha. It's like they're acting like drug addicts. Like if you
And if you don't totally unregulate hemp, if you don't treat it like you treat every other grain crop, you're going to have crop failure. What you have right now is catastrophic crop failure in the U.S. hemp industry. It went from 515,000 acres to 2,000 acres in 4 years. That's a catastrophic failure of a whole agricultural industry in America.
it's horrible.
And trying to bring it back is going to be tough. That's why I say the farmers that I know in the hemp industry are not going to get back in that business unless there's real protection in the hemp bill. And they tried to use the last hemp. They did actually use the last hemp bill in 2018 to try to scam us with total THC, which was never in the law. But they still enforced it. And that's the USDA and the FDA and the state departments of ag.
Well,
yeah.
all I say is it's a hemp revival for our own survival. It's a
Well,
hemp
hopefully,
revival
my girlfriend, my fiance, told me to be sure and invite you to come over. She would be happy to show you around Chiang Mai, and she speaks very good English. And you guys are hippies to the core, both of you.
Does she sing? Maybe she could add.
She
I've
loves to sing.
album for 10 years. Maybe I should finish it in Thailand. And like maybe you need to do some overdubs. I've got some Willie Nelson overdubs on my hemp revival song. But I think we need some activists' voices too.
Yeah.
Do you have any studios over there?
Wait, what?
Do you have any recording studios over there that you're connected to?
Yeah, there's a lot. Not that I'm connected to. I'm almost tone deaf. My mother wasted so much money on musical lessons for me as a child, and I just had no musical talent in my entire body.
No, but honestly, music lessons aren't always about talent. They're really good for your brain. So I don't think it was a waste. Look how you turned out. You're so smart.
Don't ask my family. Don't. My family won't tell you. I was on the front page of the Seattle Times, I think 3 times just for the shooting at my house.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. My mother had to go to her bridge club meetings and be asked about her son, the drug dealer. So the media really didn't like medical cannabis there.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna send you the meeting the first meeting we had. I would love to get your view of these legislators and the presentations, because I do think they're different here in Georgia. I don't think they're like everyone else. I think some of them might be like greedy and stuff, but I feel hopeful that they are human. You know what I mean? Like I feel hopeful that they're just confused.
Oh,
I'm so naive.
oh. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That could be life-changing for you. If you believe that they are all 100% crooked and stupid at the same time, you'll only be wrong about 1% of the time. So start with that theory and act accordingly. If you think that they're just stupid, you'll just talk to them like children and
Okay,
bore them.
I'm not gonna lie. I was more triggered at the last meeting than I have been ever. But I was so mad, and I was in the hallway doing like a scribbles skit. I'll send you. doing it. I was doing a scribbles skit. Maybe I should show it to you right now. Where he was like, "Who's?" Because I was more triggered by the testifiers than the legislators, because there was an organization called Sam, some like Save something marijuana, and that's what Scribbles was reacting to, because he was basically like, it was like reefer madness. And but the legislators were kind of cute, because like the ag department legal counsel, she gave this whole presentation on cannabis, which was kind of cute but kind of triggering, because it left out a lot of basic knowledge. And the triggering part was that, like, if someone's getting paid to give them knowledge, like, it should be someone who actually has like a lot of knowledge, not just someone who's been googling stuff, right? But it was still cute the way she shared it, and the way they didn't know anything about it. Like, they didn't know what a terpene was, they didn't know what a trichome was. I don't know, I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cute but annoying at the same time. But like, I don't know, I see the good in people, and so I don't know.
Yeah. But my assumption will work better for you as far as getting you a successful result.
No, they piss.
If you go in there, if you know these people are liars, and you will get to know your legislators very quickly as to which ones are just total pieces of garbage. All right. And once you find out what their arguments are, because they use the same arguments on cannabis all the time, and you, if you can go in there and you have scientific shit to put up in front of them and pass it out before you speak, all right, so all of them have it in front of them, they can see that what she's saying is a lie, and you have a medical study to prove it. That is more effective. And if you need help finding them, I will help you find them. But that is the way we're going to win. We have to win with the truth, and we have to win with scientific backed proof.
And
We don't have enough of that.
yeah, listen to the, well, we have, the folks testifying at the first hearing. They said that they only have anecdotal research, not scientific research, and they were like, well, it's better than nothing.
Arbitrary and capricious.
Yeah. So
Well, no. If it's like, well, it could mean something. No. But you can't affect people's like health and lives and all of that stuff based on, well, yeah, it could be this. Who knows?
I swear,
No, you have to go in there with proof.
she loves when I talk to cannabis activists. Like, you can't see her right now, but she is so happy.
You're a smart cat.
Yeah, she likes your voice, and it just, she's so amazing. She's like a jaguar.
So anyway, if really,
I'm gonna send you the meeting.
you cannot appeal to them on anything human, because that is not what they're thinking about.
I'm gonna
All
share
right.
share a video with you right now so you can see
Okay.
what they're saying. Okay, and let's react to it. It's kind of funny. Okay, hold on. Oh no, wait, no. Okay, let's say. Oh, that's not me. I have more subscribers than. Sorry. All right, here we go. I titled this. My Scribbles video doesn't have any views. It's so good though. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right, you see it?
Yep.
All right, let me make it bigger. That's so weird.
Anything that got
Robert DuPont, the drug czar himself, just come here.
So it is also correlating with that since the 60s, there's been a steadily increased potency of milligrams per bag of marijuana. I'm talking about flower marijuana. Like going back to like Woodstock weed, for you boomers, that was about 1 to 2% THC by weight. In the 90s, for you Gen Xers like me, it was up to about 5%. And this is based on average cannabis-induced psychosis has tripled from 06 to 16, and there's also increased the diagnosis of that psychosis and schizophrenia, which is astonishing. The brain development goes to 25.
It's
right.
very, very hard to hear.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just send it to you, and you can watch it without the live stream because I'm sure.
By the way, in case you don't know, because I had to do this a lot, usually state legislatures have video cameras running in all of those hearings, and you can file a public records request and get those videos digitally.
Cool.
Yeah, you might want to. That will save you from having to record it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I ripped this, for example, from the. They have a YouTube where they share it all, so that's where I got this one.
Let's grow natural is better than something made in a laboratory somewhere. Anything that God lets grow natural is better than something made in a laboratory somewhere. Anything that God lets grow natural is better than something made in a laboratory somewhere.
Hear it?
Yeah, and it's, you know what, it's a good appeal, but
well, that was
that
was the chairman.
Oh, that was the chairman.
Yeah, that was the chairman of Regulated Industries.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. So what does he do?
What does he do? Like for a living?
Yeah,
I have no idea. He's a legislator.
Oh, okay, all right. No, I was just wondering if he was a doctor or anything. So
I don't think he's a doctor, but I know he just started getting into nutrition. And like when I first started going down there, I was trying to get everyone to eat hemp seeds, for their health. And like, I don't know, this one legislator, like he only met with me because he thought Aviva was an insurance company. It is, not me. And,
okay. Don't you wish you owned it?
Like he lost.
Could be handy.
Wait, like after I told him about the hemp, that's what I'm saying. They're cute. I was like, did you know that hemp phytoremediates? And he looked me straight in the face and he was like, dang, no way. Like, you can't lie about being goofy like that. Like, you know what I mean? Well, anyway.
Well, enjoy your trip tomorrow.
Thank you.
The only thing that being worse than going to Atlanta is having to drive for 2 hours to get there.
Yeah, I know. And like, why am I not using gasoline? Because it's not legal.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, how else would you get there?
I'm using gasoline, not grassoline.
Okay. Well, just so you know, I don't think that oil is going to be the big product of the year for hemp, because the price of gas, the price of oil coming out of the ground now is too cheap. So it can't compete. Well, it can be used for all kinds of other things, but you're probably not going to be putting it in your car.
No, listen, you don't know what I know.
Okay. I don't claim to know everything.
We're going to end on this.
Okay.
We're not talking about oil. We're talking about ethanol. Hemp.
Yeah, I know.
Well, all the Georgia pumps have corn ethanol. We can do hemp.
They shouldn't have it.
I know, but it depends on the piston rate of your engine. But
So now you're gonna put in hemp ethanol instead of corn ethanol, and it's still a bad idea. So
well, not if you have an ethanol. Like, what about like all the race cars? Like, they're 85% ethanol. They have to be.
they're
Yeah.
regulated as to what they have to put in their cars.
So you don't think it has to be that? They just make it that?
No, of course not. They raised cars forever. They raised cars for 100 years that didn't have any ethanol. How did they do it? What a miracle.
You're anti-ethanol.
Well, it's a scam. It's a scam, and it drives the price of gasoline up, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the advantage? What's the advantage of ethanol? Why do you love ethanol? Why have you sworn an allegiance to ethanol?
We need to juggle our conspiracy theories here, because we need to juggle them back and forth. Because literally, some people have said that the prohibition of alcohol was because of the ethanol that ran cars, and the oil didn't want the competition. In Hempdemic, my movie, I talk about how the oil industry didn't want the competition of hemp fuel, and that's why they legalized it in the first place.
Well, no industry ever wants competition. That's true. But it wasn't them that was pushing this. It was the pharmaceutical industry, the new pharmaceutical industry.
George Washington Carver.
I'm sorry?
George Washington Carver. He
What about
merged. He was trying to find industrial uses for plants to support the farm.
okay.
That's when hemp ethanol became a thing. Hemp cars, Bruce Dietzen and the hemp car. Anyway, on that note, I am going to end with my Grassoline song. Let's do that. So you can hear my joy for Grassoline. Hold on. Let's get it queued up. You're such a good sport. Thanks for hanging out with me. And you're so amazing.
It's a nice thing to do first thing in the morning for me.
Oh yeah. What time is it there?
It's 7:45 now.
Wow. Okay, signing off, y'all. Have an amazing night. Thank you for rising up early with me. We will.
No problem. And I'll let you know when I think when we know who the prime minister is going to be, and I think there's also going to be some other things announced about medical cannabis today. So I'll let you know about that, and so we can time another call.
Okay, I'll play this song for you, and then we'll do one more goodbye. So hang out.
Okay. All right.
Grassoline, pretty and cosmic and smart. Grassoline, giving nature a new start. Grassoline, opening up all our hearts. Grassoline, gentle and kind, not so harsh. Grassoline, Grassoline, I sing this song with my tambourine. Grassoline, Grassoline, I sing this song jumping high on my trampoline. Grassoline, what the whole world can afford. Grassoline, can no longer be ignored. Grassoline, cleans the air as it's made. Grassoline, leaves water clean so we can wait. Every crop helps us stop polluting our homes and where we shop, absorbing tough CO2. Grassoline, oh how I love you. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Clap, clap, snap, snap. Pour it in for the win. Grassoline, it's kind of mean. Grassoline, 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 Grassoline. We all got that Grassoline. Grassoline, Grassoline. You just ask for Grassoline. Grassoline, Grassoline. We all got that Grassoline. So clean. Thank you so much.
I won't rain on your parade and talk about how hydrogen is the next fuel. We're gonna.
Hey man, I'm for hydrogen. I'm for steam. You know, supposedly they're making biobutanol with banana peels in China, but I don't know.
Well, the Chinese will do anything for some fuel. Yes.
I love how our 10-minute limit turned into an hour. You are just so fun to talk with.
Hey, it's lucky I don't charge by the hour, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. You know,
I'm not cheap, but I'm affordable.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, look, I will let you go, and I will send you a message about Thailand, and then we can discuss what we're going to when we're going to tape that. But it's like anything with Thai politics. It's really crazy.
Yeah. When do you think we're gonna chat about that? Friday?
I will know more. I will know more this afternoon. So you will wake up to more information.
And we could do it, you know, like 8 o'clock your time, 8 a.m. So so it's like a little bit later my time. It'd be 9 my time.
Well, that's completely up to you. I'm usually up about 2:30 in the morning.
What?
Yeah, because I have to talk to wonderful people like you.
Oh, you're international.
I am. Well, not only that, but I have to talk to people in Sri Lanka, and I have to talk to people in Nepal, and I have to talk to people in South Africa and in Ukraine and all over the place.
Those are all the places I want to go to have a hemp revival.
Hey, I'll give you a really good story. So do you know how much oil you normally have in a hemp seed? What percentage is oil?
Like 75%.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't talk about this. No, it's usually like 29 to 31 in that area. Okay, but someone now in another country has come up with 38% oil, which is huge if you look at the percentage of increase that is on the same hemp seed.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm chasing down that story, and that's why I have to talk to these other countries.
Okay.
And some of them are making hemp processing equipment they aren't really advertising in other countries, because I'm worried that the junk stuff that they are making out of China is not going to be available anymore, and so we need to be bringing in equipment from other places like Turkey. Turkey is making hemp processing equipment, and they make very good equipment. Ukraine makes very good equipment, except they aren't making any of it right now.
That's because Turkey makes the best cymbals.
Turkey makes great handguns.
Yeah, anything metal. They've got great metal.
Yes. They're very, very good with that, and they're very cheap. But their quality is international.
Yeah.
And so whereas when you buy something in China, it looks really good, but it's made out of shit materials. Okay, so it's not going to last, and it's just a matter of how long will it last. And you don't want to do that with a product like hemp. Okay, so we're looking at machinery that's being made in India now, and the stuff that was being made in Ukraine is now going to be made in Turkey, and Poland makes equipment, and a lot of them have got like really good seeds and stuff you never hear about. So that's why I keep track with everybody in Eastern Europe.
That's wonderful.
Well, I've got the time on my hands. Why not? It's what I do.
Retired, but never retired from cannabis activism.
You know what? I don't know that I've ever retired from anything. I've always done kind of what I mean, I've had 3 or 4 jobs in my life, but they were for short periods of time, and I hated them. Most of the time I worked for myself. So my job is what I love doing. So if I retired, what would I do? Like not do hemp stuff or not do cannabis stuff? What would I do?
Exactly, like being an artist. Like I'm gonna stop writing songs.
Well, and I'm still an artist. I sold my first painting at 13. So I'm a master goldsmith. I do all kinds of art stuff.
What Smith? You're a master what Smith?
Goldsmith. I'm a clothing designer. I started the largest swimwear company ever out of the state of Hawaii.
See, all because of your music lessons.
Oh, I don't want a music lesson. I've given up. I tried everything. Matter of fact, I was so desperate. I was actually a singer in a band when I was, I don't know, 14, 15 years old. And the only reason I was the singer in the band is because I was the only one who had the equipment, the microphones and stuff. So they let me sing. That was a real mistake, and it didn't last long.
No, that's what bands always do. Like, he has a car. Let's see if he wants to join the band.
Yeah. But with me, I would have always been a loser, the last person. I would have had to own all of the equipment, right, and pay them to work with me.
God, I think we just have to have like the Steve and Aviva podcast, like Steveva, like instead of Stevia. This is too fun. All right, Steve, I have got.
Yeah, you've got to go. You've got to go. And then we'll talk more about at some point about teaching you what to do when you go to testify, because I have a lot of history at that.
Yeah, you can keep all of my testimonies that are on YouTube.
Okay, all right.
You've got
aloha from Thailand, and I will send you mail while you are sleeping, and then if there's good stuff in that, we will get back on the air and talk about it.
Oh my God! Good thing I can't text you. Otherwise, I would be spamming you video after video like I do everyone in Georgia.
Yeah, that's why I had to close down everything. I had 300 windows open this morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the way my head works, you know.
Me too. I have like 50 windows open right now. I've already like bookmarked like hundreds. Like, oh.
Yeah, and I haven't bookmarked them yet. So now I have to go through and bookmark them and categorize them. And because I say new studies that come out and all that kind of stuff. So I have to do this every day, and I'm very disorganized.
Well, we need to work together because we're probably
two disorganized people.
No. We probably are bookmarking the same studies so we can like help each other. Because I'm constantly researching too.
Yeah, and you need, and if you're going to go and talk to them, don't go and talk to the legislators and speak to them without studies in your hand to pass out, because that gives you credibility that other people don't have. Other people will get up there and talk about how they feel. You're going to get up and talk about issues.
Yeah, we'll see about
that.
I think I'm just gonna sing a song. Should I pass out the lyrics?
You can do whatever you like. I would give them edibles. That way they'd think about you the rest of the day. Give them really good edibles.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
See, that's why we couldn't work together. That's how I do it. I just drug the bastards.
I think if we're gonna get them to eat anything, it would be Dickie's peach ice cream. So we'll have to talk to him.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Seeds. But I did pass out hemp seeds at the last meeting because they didn't.
Coconut macadamia hemp ice cream. All stuff that comes from Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Or from Canada, from Thailand.
So easy to make hemp milk.
Yeah, and we grow macadamia nuts here, so you can have macadamia nuts and hemp in your coconut ice cream.
Oh, macadamia nuts are so good.
Yeah.
I think I have a pack somewhere.
And they aren't too expensive here.
Wow. Yeah, it's like $10 at like Publix for like this, like a little bag.
A little bag, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll send you a link and you see how much they are here. Anyway.
All right.
Oh.
Later, Gator.
My girlfriend thinks I ran off with you. Later. Bye.
Hi, girlfriend.
I don't know how to shut this down.
I got it.
How do you shut this down?
I'm ending this.
Turn me off.
Goodbye.